Hello, and welcome to this Sunday's Soul Snack called This Was Never a Mistake. Your resistance is a portal to power. There are a lot of people who, when I tell them about their power to create here, that everything is a choice, or that whatever they experienced or somebody they know experienced, they chose to experience before they were even born here, that could be at times met with resistance. Not everybody appreciates that, and I can understand why. There was a time that I personally went through my own difficulties. I had some difficulties, right? And then between 2008 and 2017 was a full-blown decade of hell where things were so awful that I literally thought my life was hell itself. Like I actually was just in hell and didn't realize it, or that it was some kind of cosmic joke and there was going to be a big lamp later on or something. And so I understand the resistance to that. And I'll tell you, I started learning about ascension back in 2005. This had been told to me way before I actually started my healing journey and started integrating this stuff. And up until that point, I was in the space of poor me. It's everybody's fault but mine. And as long as I was in that space, I wasn't able to change anything. I wasn't able to create anything. I had to become aware of how my thoughts and my beliefs and the things I was saying and the things I was choosing to program myself were effectively creating my state and my reality. So it can be very difficult to grasp how someone, for instance, who is disabled from birth, or perhaps didn't even make it through the birth, how that could be a choice. Well, I invite you to consider that we live in a difficult reality to navigate. This is the only place where you can incarnate and forget everything. We forget how reality works. We forget our history. We forget who our family is. We forget everything. And so there are some souls who choose to come here only in spirit, to be close in spirit, to maybe serve as a lesson or as a guide to a human who is fully incarnated here. It's also a thing where some souls may always intend to not incarnate for that long, because the longer you're incarnated, the more enmeshed you are in this place, which is full of polarity. And we are in a karmic cycle. And the karma, I want to explain, is not punishment or reward. You could think of it as the matrix of this reality that is built in such a way that based on our thoughts, our beliefs, the words we choose, and our choices that come along with that will provide us with the exact experiences and situation we need in order to learn certain lessons, especially the lesson of our own interconnectedness with each other and oneness. Now, oneness doesn't mean that down here we're all the same person. Oneness means that at the pinnacle of creation, we all came from the same source. Here, it reads more as interconnectedness and equality and treating everybody with the utmost of honor and respect, because we're all cosmic, celestial brothers and sisters. And oneness is between people. It's also between us and nature, throughout all of nature, the animals. We aren't separate from nature. We're just part of nature that also built things that we don't consider to be nature. And also between us and the very things that are created that most of us don't consider to be nature. Because everything that exists at the end of the day is created from that creator substance. We are created from that creator substance. Everything that we create is. Everything that is created, period, is. And so as we move through, this is why we create with our choices. We create with our words. We create with our beliefs. We create with our thoughts, or really the state of our thoughts. This is why mindset is so powerful, because we receive what we are, not what we want. And that could be frustrating, because it could feel like it's so out of our control, right? I remember what it's like to have invasive thoughts. Sometimes you need a rewire. Other times you need entity removal. nervous system regulation, or even polarity correction. Or sometimes, if you're like me, you needed all of the above. But if you also look at me, this is stuff that I experienced. And even through years and years and years and years of resistance, I was able to finally get up the grit to move through it and embody more and more. And I am not done, and I am not giving up. Neither should you, if it's important to you. And so I wanted to take a few minutes to explain why our choices are so important, and why and how/why we choose what we do before we incarnate. We do. We choose where we're born, who we're born to, the type of circumstances we start with, and certain nodes. And in between those nodes, it's all choice. And then even between those nodes, we have complete free will and choice, yet there are still parts of the plan, while not inevitable, when we're not in alignment with that plan, we will face more resistance, sort of like swimming upstream. And when we're very much in alignment with that plan, it's just like free flowing. And so this matrix here is built in such a way where we have free will, yet there are unseen forces driving us to align with that plan. And this is why, this is the whole point of this world. It's almost like a little game. It's a training ground, really, to help. So it's the place where we forget everything. We forget our names. We forget who we are, what reality is made of, why we're even here, or what here really is. And it's the only place like that. And it's also beautiful because without that, imagine who we were before. And it's a gift to be able to get to be here, to be wiped of it so we could choose and begin to remember again. It's like a game. And then afterwards, I've had 4 near-death experiences, and there was a time when I was on the other side for like 10 minutes. And for that 10 minutes, I could barely remember this life at all. All I could remember is the feeling that I had was this bliss, love, beautiful feeling that I didn't even think was possible. I had crossed over right away. And so that's what I was feeling. And, but I didn't remember what was really going on in my life at all. It was just a dream. And that's, as far as I understand, that's what it's like. It takes a while to kind of like integrate and remember. I still talk to Ryan, and he forgets little details about his life, because there's still integration there. So I know that this is a concept that sometimes people get upset at or resistant to, and I think that's natural. It's a big truth to uncover. It's a big pill to swallow, so to speak. And at the same time, once you say, okay, well, maybe there's something to this. Let me try to shift my mindset to be more optimistic, to be more loving, to hold less resistance, to develop more equanimity, humility, acceptance. You might be surprised how fast things change. I remember back in the day, for me, it was just one moment. It was after I was pretty much forced situationally to get off benzodiazepines. And I had been in withdrawal so bad for about 3 days that I didn't know who I was, or really I wasn't clear on exactly what was wrong with me. And once I finally, realized I had discharge papers and a little bit of my mind started to come back, I realized certain things. I realized I didn't need any of it. And I started to feel tingles, and my actual brain wasn't working. And so the tingles, I believe, were spirit, and my mindset started to shift from stuck and no choice to possibility. Just that thinking I was stuck and having no choices, to looking at the other side, even though I was still miserable because I was going through withdrawals at the time. Just that shift, stuck in no choice, to maybe there's some choices, just started opening things up. Simple as that. I've also been on another side of things where, I've been through points in my life where I had lots of money and where I didn't have much money. And one of the things that really turned things around was this notion that there's always money to be made. And once I shifted those thoughts and state of being from it was kind of like, I need to be taken care of, there's nothing I could do about this, I need somebody else to take care of me, to, I got this, I could do anything and there's always money to be made, and these include words, things I say out loud, these are how we create, and that leads to taking action that is bolder, action that is different. And that's how we create. And the other part about choosing our incarnation, I just want to say the reason I wanted to talk about that is because I want you to know that the tough times that you've been through is not for nothing. There are gifts in there. From struggle, you learn what to fight for. Through struggle, you gain strength. You gain the ability for grit. You gain deeper understanding of things. We've been told that the type of soul that gains the most evolution in this lifetime is somebody who's disabled from birth, because of how much they overcome in one lifetime and how much they adjust to and understand, And so no matter what it is, know that there are hidden blessings in your pain. There's hidden blessings in your struggle. It's just a matter of learning and being able to turn it around. Now, I don't want this to go too long, and I hope this was empowering for someone. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday, and I hope this was a tasty soul snack for you. If you enjoyed this, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll be back again next Sunday.